Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psych Reg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Bernie Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, after we recorded our last podcast, we decided that we were going to reorder things just a little bit because we found this other article about what websites do that drive end-of-year impulsive purchasing.
Right.
This was from Psychology Today.
Right. We've been talking about what stores do.
Right.
What they do to increase sales, how they use psychological tricks, if you will, manipulation, to get us to spend more money. And this moves us into the online version,
right.
the online analogy of what stores do.
Yeah.
And so this article is about what websites do to drive end-of-year spending.
Right. And so this is from Psychology Today, right. And I'm not going to attempt to pronounce her name, Dr. Margalit.
I would say Margalit, yeah. I would guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right.
Laraz is her first name. It's tough. There's a tough name. But nonetheless, it's in Psychology Today, and it is how websites drive end-of-year impulse purchasing. Mm-hmm. And the link is in the show notes, so definitely check it out. Right. But there's some things here that we want to talk about, because online spending is a major way that folks shop for the holidays now. So, just some things to look out for.
And she puts it in dollar amounts.
Yeah.
The Black Friday weekend, now I'm guessing that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I would assume, yeah.
And not goes in.
So it would have been this past weekend.
Monday, right? That the average American spends about $380.
Yeah.
And of that total, about 160, so approximately a little less than half, is spent online.
Right.
So it's becoming a more and more significant part of the money that we spend on this weekend. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other facts.
Right.
So by the end of the year, or at the end of the year, most people, those who purchase online, on average, purchase between three or four items online each year.
At the end of the year.
At the end of the year, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, so we have this lore to do that because it's the convenience of sitting at home. We can avoid the big stores. We don't have to fight crowds or any of those kinds of issues. So we can, make these purchases. I mentioned earlier this week, in an earlier podcast for this week, that when I opened my email earlier, I had 150 emails, 90% of which were ads about purchasing things online.
You must purchase things online.
There must be someone in my family that purchases online that uses my email address as the contact.
Yeah, because you don't shop that much.
I know who you are, Kendra.
But somebody's buying things online in your house.
Yes.
Because our home computer has many more ads on it than my work computer.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's one other piece of data that I want to mention. You said that at the end of the year, we buy about 3 or 4 items per visit.
Right.
But during the rest of the year, it takes 3 visits to buy an item and a half, on average 1 to 2 items.
Right.
But you go to the websites 3 times to purchase 1 or 2. Whereas in holiday, it's 1 visit to get 3 or 4.
Right.
So it turns.
It switches around.
It reverses.
Right. So during the rest of the year, over 3 visits to a online store, you might buy 1 or 2 things.
Right.
During the holidays, 1 visit to an online store, and you tend to buy 3 or 4 items. And so there is this shift, this adjustment that happens during the holidays. Again, likely because of all the sale ads, because of all the deals that you can get, the free shipping, the this or that.
Right.
And so there is some psychology behind this tendency, and she refers to it as impulse spending.
Yes, right. She we talk about impulse spending in a grocery store
Right.
or in a department store where they have items near the cash register,
Right.
or strategically placed so that you'll get them. So she's using the same concept here. She's saying this is just another form of impulse buying.
Right. So she says here are some common tactics used to sort of see where websites are using psychology to get you to purchase things impulsively. And the first thing is reinforcing group thinking.
Right.
Man, that's not something that we've talked about. We didn't talk about with the stores, but this is, there's campaigns that create what she referred to as the herd effect.
Right.
That is, if you feel like everybody else is getting this, man, you are much more likely to purchase it.
I remember the first time I was aware of this was Beanie Babies.
Yes.
And Cabbage Patch were the first 2 times. You had to have, and there was one other thing. Was it Tickle Me Elmo or something?
Well, there was that, but the holiday Barbie was always huge.
Okay.
Because it was during the holidays that the Barbie would come out with every year she would have a new dress or something like that. And it was a huge collector's item.
And you never could get enough of them.
Right.
I mean, there were never enough of these items. They were available for Christmas, and it would create this herd mentality where you had to get in.
Right.
If you were any kind of a parent, you would make sure. And there was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger one year.
Jingle All the Way, I think was the name
like
of it.
that, about a figure.
It was a
military figure.
Yeah, it was a robot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was this whole idea of, if you're a decent father, if you're worth anything as a father, you will make sure that one of these is under our tree.
And the movies about this are always so bad for the dad because
it's always the dad who takes it.
The mom humors the dad and says, "Okay, I'll let you be in charge of getting this item," and then of course the dad can't get it, and then there's all kinds of mayhem that ensues.
Right, but that's that group thing, and I remember I'm not as aware of it now as I used to be.
Yeah.
I don't. It felt like we were all being manipulated there, or at least all of us who had children were being manipulated.
Yeah.
I'm less aware of it today.
Yeah. It still happens because in mid-November or so, you get the holiday list of these are the big toys for this year.
Right.
These are the big items that everybody's going to want this year. Electronic items or anything, yeah.
See, I guess we don't have young children,
right.
so I'm less aware of that.
Yeah.
Now it's electronics. And I noticed that the iPhones are back-ordered and they're coming in.
Right, but they just released the Xbox X, the Xbox One X. So it's a newfangled, as you would say,
right.
and a new edition of the Xbox that is a little bit higher quality as it relates to resolution.
Are there enough of them in stock?
Probably not.
So people are going to be rushing out to try to get them. And so you create this frenzy.
A new PlayStation also.
Right. And so you create this frenzy of I have to have it, I have to have it, which draws you into the store, it draws you online, and once you're there, you're going to make other purchases.
Yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely. The second thing is to... They destroy the rational process.
I love that one. They destroy all rational thinking.
That's right.
Right.
It's we talked about this one a little bit with the stores.
Right.
But it makes you feel like you have to buy it because the deal is so good that if you don't buy it, then you're going to spend more money later.
That's right. And everybody else thinks it's good, so it must be.
Must be.
Everybody else values it, so it must be. And that's throwing out rational thinking.
Right.
I mean, and I love that one.
Yeah.
That gets right to the nub. You're getting stupid.
Yes.
It's another way of saying
you're
not using good judgment here.
And now the third one is creating a sense of urgency, and we talked about it with the time frames with the in-store, but the way that the online stores do it is far more impending. Because they'll have the little countdown clocks.
Yes.
You'll get the emails where it's counting down. Now, notice, though, when you go to it and it says, just, 2 hours left.
Right.
Well, you probably got that email like an hour and a half ago, but it still says just 2 hours left.
Right.
And it's counting down, and you think, oh my gosh, I got to get there and I got to make that purchase. If you reload that email, the timer starts over. So, but it's all psychological to get you feeling the pressure that I got to get there now and I got to hurry up and make this purchase.
Right.
Yeah. So they create that sense of urgency, like right now, it has to happen now.
Right. If you're in the store, you have until 6 o'clock. If you're at your computer, you have until the clock runs down.
Right. Right.
So.
And so it certainly makes you much more. now you can't shop the deals. Now you can't go to different sites and see what the prices are, because as soon as you do that, you're losing the chance of getting it. So you're going to purchase much more impulsively there. Right. And the fourth thing, this is the last one that she has. The fourth thing is creating collective experience. Right. And again, I like this idea, because we know, again, that websites do this, that they make you feel like you're part of this community. And so I got it, and what they'll do is, I've seen some where they'll have, other people who purchased this item, what they thought, or other things that they purchased, and those kinds of things. People who
bought that. Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's notorious for that.
That's right. They've done a masterful job at doing that. I was looking up some books this morning, and it's just amazing how good they are at that.
Yeah.
When there's these phrases that she uses, these psychological principles. One of them is hesitation. When you get a collective experience and urgency, and everybody else is doing this, there are two psychological principles involved in these things. One of them is called hesitation. I think it's hesitation time. Is that you want to decrease hesitation time. Right. There are people who actually track this stuff when people are buying things.
Latency.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you want to decrease what psychologists call hesitation time. So you better do this right now, get it done. And the other is loss aversion. Right. I think is the other concept, the other psychological. Right. As telling somebody that you have this feeling, this impending feeling that you're gonna lose out on a great opportunity. Right. So we want to do everything we can to make you feel like if you don't do this, you're going to miss it. How many times has your partner come home and said, "Oh, I should have bought this. I had this great opportunity, and we didn't really need the item, right? But it was a lost opportunity, and she was kind of beating herself up about this great opportunity that we lost. I don't think we missed anything in the process, but it felt that way. So retailers, sellers want to decrease hesitation time and increase loss aversion. Right. So there are even psychological concepts here. Right. And again, all of that increases the likelihood of impulsive spending. You're going to buy it. You're going to buy it, and you're going to buy it fast. Exactly. Right? So hurry up. All right. Now, tomorrow for the next podcast, we're going to shift into some strategies for dealing with these issues. Right. Some things that you can do to decrease your tendency to act impulsively and to binge buy. And notice that he said that you can do, not that you can tell your partner to do, because if you suggest these things to your partner, your year is not going to end well. Right. And then the next week we're going to talk about ways to recover from concussions. The relationship damage that you've done by making these recommendations to your partner. Right. So, all right. So that's it for today. Make sure that you follow us and subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube and everywhere. Twitter. Wherever we are, there you should be as well. And make sure that, see how that was... and make sure you share us with your friends and family and enemies or anybody else that's walking around at the store. And communicate with us. I want to know about your shopping experiences. I want to know how you're dealing with this. Write to us and let us know. Please let us know. You can also check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/thementalbreakdown. It's up and running. We're still working on the artwork, but that's okay. Right. But it's there. If you are able to, willing and able to support us, then you're going to have access to this to our the Mental Breakdown Discord page, which is another way that you can communicate with us directly, and it's just a great way for us to be able to communicate and share experiences, and you can ask us questions that we can then talk about on different podcasts and do different things. So check that out. We have a lot planned for 2018, and the list for 2018 continues to grow, and so we need some support just to create the time that we need to be able to do everything. Yep. So, can't believe that 2017 is drawing to a close, but looking forward to 2018. Absolutely. Yep. So, all right, that is it for today. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.